The following is a presentation of the Arizona Cardinals Broadcast Network.
Run it, run it, run it. Let's go. Yeah, head grip. Get out, let's go. Here we go, work at it. Work your technique, do little things right. That's it, all right, roll it.
This is Cardinals Game Plan, presented by Dignity Health. Your hosts, Paul Calvisi and Ron Wolfley, with the head coach, Kliff Kingsbury.
All right, always a good thing when you're giving out multiple game balls. Always a good thing when football is fun again, Wolf, huh?
Dancing in the locker room is winning, Paul. Never forget that.
And Chandler Jones, he was the guy to beat in the locker room after that one. So what'd you like the most about that win at the New York Giants, Coach?
Just the overall team effort. It's not easy to go out east and then play in that type of weather that you really can't replicate out here. And defense stepped up when they needed to. Offense made just enough plays in the run game and just found a way to win in kind of a grinded out ball game.
And you handed out 3 game balls, did you not? Tell us about that, Kliff.
Yeah, we did. Just 3 players that really had a big impact and had special moments. Started with Pat being back. I mean, that was huge. A guy who the game means the world to him, passionate about his team, and to be back with them. Had a huge fumble that he caused late that really kind of sealed the victory. Chandler Jones, career day, 4 sacks, most he's ever had in a game. And then, Chase Edmonds, coming from an FCS school right down the road, playing in front of a small crowd to that. What a moment for him.
In fact, let's pick up with his first touchdown run. It was the opening drive. It was 13 plays, 75 yards. He converted 2 third downs, a 4th down. When you script a drive like that and then it pays off, that's got to be really gratifying as a coach.
It is, and to see it unfold the way it did. Our O-line was playing their tails off. The rain was coming down, and so it limited our passing to an extent, but those guys carried the load and made great holes for Chase the entire day.
Thank goodness your play sheet was laminated, by the way. Anybody who was down that sideline, it never stopped raining. How much did that impact your play calling?
It was a big part of it. I don't know if I've been in one. I mean, I've coached in Texas the last 10 years, so I don't know if I've been in one where it just rained the entire game without stopping. So by that second half, it was pretty sloppy, and we definitely had a bunch of shot plays and different things that we wanted to get to that we weren't able to get to.
All right, Cardinals get their first interception. Jordan Hicks, tell us about that one, because obviously the D had been waiting.
Yeah, that's a big one to get off that snide, and Jordan's one that he's made a bunch of those in practice, and he dropped back in coverage, made a great play, and they usually come in bunches. We were able to get a few more turnovers later on in the game, and hopefully that continues.
Let's go to the film breakdown, because then the Cardinals pay it off by getting into the end zone. And here we go, Chase Edmonds, and tell us about this draw play, the call, and how it transpired.
Yeah, it's one we had in a couple weeks ago, did it out of a different formation group, and perfectly blocked and well executed. You can see the guys physical there, picking up their guys, Charles and AQ, and then Chase finishing with a strong run.
You knew it early, didn't you? I saw you react early on the sideline.
I had a good look at it. We got the look we wanted defensively, and those guys blocked it perfectly. When I saw it kind of open up right there, I knew Chase was going to hit it, and he just had a great day.
And Coach, Charles Clay, being a fullback, actually helped out, right? I mean, the fact that he's got an experience as a fullback, right?
Wolf pulling in the fullback. Yeah, he did a bunch of that in college and other places. And he and Max have done a great job of filling that role for us. Not the traditional fullback, if you will, but we're using them in that capacity.
All right, so then the momentum shifts, right? All right, there was the tight end, the backup tight end with a touchdown catch. Other than that, the tight end position was quiet, but that was a pretty darn good throw by the rookie Daniel Jones.
Tremendous throw. He's going to be a really good player, and he is a good player, and made some big-time throws all day. And that weather to drop that in there, we had kind of coverage underneath and over the top, and he made a perfect throw. All
right, so momentum shifts, though. You had the sack for the loss of 15. Kyler put that on himself, speaking of young players, and then the block punt. I mean, how critical was that at that moment, especially before the half?
That was huge. I think, like you said, to lose 15 on a sack and really back yourself up and put yourself in that situation, something we had avoided the last 3 weeks. He's done a great job of not taking those negative plays, but he was trying to make a play and got caught up. And anytime you give up a block punt for a touchdown in a game, your chances of winning go significantly down. So something we had to overcome, and our guys did a good job of doing that.
Coach, as a former punt pro, personal protector, right? I mean, that's what I did, Paul, right? Yep. I've gotten a couple of punts blocked myself because I made the wrong call. What happened on that?
That's basically what it was. It was communication.
Was it?
And we just got to get that straightened out. It's loud. You're backed up down there. You got to be great at communicating.
All right, so you get back momentum in the third quarter, and there's Chandler Jones. He had 4, and this was the strip sack. Tell us how a team can feed off a turn of events like that.
Anytime you get a turnover, it's a huge momentum swing. And when you watch Chandler Jones, the effort he plays with, our guys appreciate that. And you see it every day in practice. You saw it all through the offseason. He gives you everything he's got. And so anytime he makes a play, guys are fired up for him.
I thought that was the tipping point of the game. I thought that was the fulcrum of the game, right? That sequence. Chandler Jones, the sack, the strip sack, and then 3 plays later, it was Chase Edmonds.
It was. That really put us on top, for the game, and we were able to hold on late. But what a huge swing in momentum.
And finish was your message this week, wasn't it?
We did. We would have liked the offense to finish it off a little bit better there at the end, but defensively they stepped up, and boy, 2 great, stops there at the end that sealed the deal.
On that Chase Edmonds touchdown, that was also to the left, was it not? You guys seem to be attacking the perimeter, especially the left. Was that game plan?
It was. We felt like we had some good matchups over there. Pugh and DJ, and then Fitz blocking and Max blocking really collapsed that down a couple times and sprung Chase for big plays.
And then, of course, the Patrick Peterson blitz for the strip sack himself. He said that was on earlier in the game, but then the look changed on emotion. But, man, he was so happy that the Cardinals had waited, and that perfect time for that to happen.
It really was. What a great call. You don't see a ton of corner blitzes in this league, but the timing of it, and then he's just so fast. It looked like Jones saw it, thought he could get the pass off, but he was on him before he knew it. And when you watch it on film, it looks like the tape sped up. Pat can get there so quickly.
I haven't seen the tape yet, but did you guys flop him to the blind side to actually execute that corner blitz?
We did, yeah. They moved him so he could have the short side of it, and he disguised it perfectly and hit it right on time.
Next up, more on the win in New York, plus Coach K's impressions of the New Orleans Saints when Cardinals Game Plan returns. Cardinals Game Plan is brought to you by Dignity Health, hello human kindness, and by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
All right, it was raining on the field. It was raining sacks. There were 8. It was raining takeaways. There were 3. And then afterwards, Patrick Peterson, in his debut, his return, he called it the P2 effect. True or false?
There was definitely some truth to that. A guy like that, one of the best corners to ever play, comes out, he has a lot of swagger, has a lot of confidence throughout the week even, and in the building. And our team fed off that, and it showed up on Sunday.
Coach, what do you think is happening to this team right now? 3 wins in a row. What's going on inside that locker room?
I just think it's been a process, and faced some adversity early, had some games that we felt like we had a chance to win and didn't close, and are starting to find ways to win games at the end. And the group likes playing together. We have some great leadership, some great veterans, and hopefully we can just keep building.
And talk about that combination, 8 sacks. Chandler Jones and T-Sizzle. Well, there's something going on right there, too, a little bit of chemistry.
No doubt. They feed off each other, and for Chandler, what a great guy to learn from.
Right.
T-Sizz got in the top 10 all time in sacks. I saw it was the 75th different quarterback he sacked. And Daniel Jones was barely born, I think, when T-Sizz went into the league. So fun guys to be around, great leaders. They bring it every day in practice, and they're great for our locker room.
So what does that do for Vance Joseph now, the return of Patrick Peterson? How much does that trickle down? I know Chandler Jones said after the game that, hey, he noticed Daniel Jones had to hold the ball a little bit longer just because Pat was back.
There's no doubt. I mean, if you can take away that first read or second read and make him just hold it or think about it a little bit longer, that's a huge effect in this game. And I know Vance was pleased to be able to put in some different calls that he's been holding in anticipation of Pat being back.
Coach, it seems like the offensive line over the last 3 games in particular is really starting to gel. Did you challenge these guys?
No, they challenged themselves. I think they understood as well. Offensively, we couldn't just be a drop back team, and that was on me some, and it was a situation some. And once we've kind of figured out who we are personnel-wise and how effective we can be, they've bought in and have run with it.
Coach, Kyler Murray, as you know, had 4 pass attempts in the second half of this game. 4. What should Kyler Murray take away from this game?
Just that he doesn't have to do it all. I think that he's got a great supporting cast around him that's going to play their tails off each and every week, and that was a real grinded out game. I've never thrown it 4.5 times ever. But that was, I was out there. I'm a former quarterback, and I was psyched out for throwing it. And so we stuck to the ground, and luckily those guys found a way to win.
So you got New Orleans, of course, coming up, right? Drew Brees or Teddy Bridgewater. Are you preparing for them both?
We are at this point. It sounds like Drew's going to try to give it a go, and they're a tremendous team with him, without him. You see what they've done with Teddy. He's performed at a very high level. They won 5 in a row, but Drew Brees is one of the best of all time, and so it's going to take our best effort to hang in there.
And that Saints defense was every bit as good as the Bears defense in their last outing, wasn't it?
They're a heck of a defense. They've really built that thing. A lot of first-rounders when you look at it, and they're playing well together. Coach Allen has really done a great job with that group, and you can see it on film.
Would you call them an aggressive group coming after a quarterback? How are teams really trying to defend Kyler Murray for the most part?
It's been a mixed bag, but they're a group that they're very sound in what they do. There's nothing given up. You don't see any blown coverages. They're going to make you earn it. They're great tackling in space, and so it'll be a big challenge.
More with Coach Kingsbury later in the show. Up next, Patrick Peterson, wired for sound in Sunday's victory. Welcome back to Cardinals Game Plan. On Sunday, Patrick Peterson returned to the field and his energy was felt immediately. He was mic'd up for the win in New York. Wired, brought to you by your Arizona Ford dealers.
The future of the NFL perhaps on display as the Cardinals and Giants meet at MetLife Stadium on a cloudy Sunday afternoon.
This is great football weather right here, baby. Yes, sir. This is it.
Watching Pat P in warm-ups was really, really cool. This is a guy that's running around. The joy of being back in between the white lines.
Man, it feels great to be back, man. I'm excited, but I'm ready to roll, and I do feel me making them play. P2 about to take over the Big Apple. Oh, you back, boy. Oh, that boy strapped down there at the ankle. Yes, sir, we back, baby. Let's show them what they're gonna get for years to come. I don't know who it is, but somebody going to that witness protection program today. Hey, Chandler! Give me something, boy. I feel the love. Let's roll, baby. We play at one speed on and that's fast. Let's go out here and dominate these clowns, man. But what's gonna take us to get that done? We gotta commit to one another. We gotta believe. And what better opportunity to do it in New York City? Fast on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Get close to the TV, because if you blink, you might miss it. Ooh, let's go. Let's go. Woo! Let's go. What we got? Way!
Back to pass, Jones steps up in the pocket, throws deep, far side, intercepted by Hicks at the 45, gets up and runs at the 40, at the 35, and tackled at the 32. The first interception for the Cardinals defense this season, and they are in business.
Let's go! Let's go!
He's holding the ball thanks to you. He's holding the ball.
I told y'all.
He's holding the ball.
It's my presence. Hey, Coach, it's my presence.
Yes,
That's why we got that pick.
Flag
I told you.
I smell a Patrick Peterson interception.
Oh!
I smell one coming soon.
Oh!
Daniel Jones on 3rd and 17 from his 33. 4-man rush, straight drop back for Jones, looking deep, firing far side in traffic, incomplete. Patrick Peterson mad at himself. He thought he should have picked it off.
He pushed me in my back. I couldn't jump. He pushed me in my back.
Why would you try P2?
Yeah,
That would have been a pick when you pushed in the back.
He had my lower back down.
I was saying in my head, I'm like, this is the pick, this is the pick.
Hey, Eli, tell him to change that signal. This is the go, all right? Tell him to change that signal. I'll watch tape.
Back to pass goes Jones. Lobs it near side at the 5. It's caught. It's a touchdown. And the Giants are finally on the board.
That's the fun thing I love about football. They got this thing called momentum. And it can shift at any moment. And it's going to come back to us in a minute. Watch.
Standing in the pocket, lobbing it near side for Ingram, and he dropped the ball at the 20-yard line, incomplete.
Get you a sack. I need a Chandrick move. Barbecue chicken. Chow! Chow! Chow position!
Jones straight drop back, looking to set up a screen to the left. Instead, the ball is chopped out by Chandler Jones, and he recovers it at midfield.
Let's go! Come on! Hold on! Let's get on the knee! Get on the knee!
Chandler Jones with another strip sack.
Hold on! Do the knee! Do the knee! Yeah!
Handoff to the left side. Edmonds, he's got room at the 20, the 10, the 5. He's in again. The hat trick. And the Cardinals lead it 23-14.
That boy hot. Hey, cool him off. That boy hot right now, boy. Cool him down. We about to put a fork in him right now. Let's go.
4th and 15 on their 33 with 2:40 to go. Snap to Jones. Blitz coming. Jones hit. Lost the ball. It's scooped up by the Cardinals. Patrick Peterson forced the fumble. Reddick picks it up. For the first time in 4 years, the Cardinals are on a 3-game winning streak. They improved to 3-3-1. They beat the Giants 27-21. The Cardinals with Patrick Peterson back, noticeably different defensively.
Welcome back! Welcome back! Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Next on Cardinals Game Plan, Paul and Wolf put the spotlight on Sunday's matchup in the Big Easy with the New Orleans Saints. Welcome back to Cardinals Game Plan. Now, Paul and Wolf put the spotlight on the opponent, the 6-1 New Orleans Saints, presented by Phillips Law Group.
All right, Cardinals on a 3-game winning streak. It's the first since 2015, and we're going to violate our rule here, no math. Add up the combined records of the opponents. It's just 3-18. Now you get the 6-1 New Orleans Saints, and they're 5-0 under Teddy Bridgewater. This team is a lot more, Ron Wolf, than Drew Brees, obviously.
No doubt about it, Paulie. I mean, Sean Payton has done an incredible job coaching this team, right, in all 3 phases. It's not just offensively, which he is a savant, but defensively as well. Dennis Allen, the defensive coordinator, is a guy that has done a great job. I think they started a little slow this year, and then they've really ramped it up right here, starting to come around a high-pressure defense that are going to come after you for the most part. It's going to be really interesting to see what they do with Kyler Murray, but their special teams as well, very, very sound in all 3 phases, Paulie.
You know, Teddy Bridgewater quoted as saying, we're playing elite football right now after that win against the Bears, and they really dominated. They got ahead 36-10 in that one. Let me throw this at you. If not for the rain in New York, what would that game have been like? Kyler Murray, is he on the verge of a breakout? That first drive was unbelievable, and then the rain hit.
Yeah, you know what, Paulie? I don't think we'll ever know, obviously, right, what that might have been. But Kyler Murray right now, to me, if you put him in a pristine setting, like the Superdome,
sure,
this is going to be really interesting, Paul, because I know there's noise. I know that it's a hostile environment. I know they're playing a great team. But at some point in time, this kid, and we have seen it from him, he's going to put up 340. He's going to put up 400 on somebody. And if it happened inside a dome, it wouldn't surprise me.
I tell you, the sense I got in New York was now the Cardinals have Pete Twice back, and they are back. This is the real team. That the season almost started in week 7 because now they're a complete team. You put Patrick Peterson on Michael Thomas, and then you go from there at New Orleans on Sunday.
Coach Kingsbury's final thoughts on Sunday's game against the Saints when we return. Cardinals Game Plan has been brought to you by Dignity Health, Hello Human Kindness, and by State Farm. Talk to an agent today at 800-STATE-FARM.
All right, here's a stat for you. The Cardinals have now won consecutive East Coast start games 10 a.m. for the first time ever since they moved to Arizona in 1988. Part of that's actually on you, Ron Wolfley. Head coach Kliff Kingsbury has actually bailed you out a little bit on that one. Yeah.
1988. Oh my goodness, it was a fine year, Paul.
So with Sean Payton on the other sideline, tell us about your respect for him, just as an offensive mind and a play caller.
He's a guy I've always followed and watched and studied his film. His ability to create different matchups and adapt his personnel and change up different looks week to week has been phenomenal. He's one of the best to ever do it, offensively speaking, and it's an honor to coach against him.
Coach, any special preparation for actually playing in the Superdome?
We'll have the music cranked up a little louder. You can't simulate that without being in there, but we'll have it cranked up to the max and really practice operating under those conditions.
33 scoring drives by the Cardinals. That's 4th in the NFL. How do you like the efficiency right now overall of the offense and where it's at right now?
It's improved, and that's what, I think the first month, like I've talked about, not really running our offense during preseason was probably a mistake on my part, but our guys have caught up now after that first month and playing at a higher level, and I think we'll continue to get better. We got a tough stretch coming up, but guys are working hard and doing the best they can.
Keys to victory, Coach, if you're going to win.
Yeah, you got to start fast against these guys. They have a tendency to come out, they script their plays really well and come out and score early, and we can't fall behind and be one-dimensional in that dome on the road with that noise. We got to be in this thing early.
Yeah, no doubt. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you for watching Cardinals Game Plan. For more great Cards content, check out the team's official YouTube page at youtube.com/AZCardinals.